One of the more interesting things that I've noticed in my career is that even though folks are at risk, let's imagine, unfortunately, someone has been told that their job is impacted and that you're making changes in how that job actually works within the company. The first thing you would expect to see is that people would want to create a profile, put their CV out to market, put it within the company to try and get remobilized. And what I've seen time and time again is that folks actually are quite paralyzed. And this is where I think that the business has a responsibility that they know when they're making changes, not overnight. Like in this AI world, everyone is looking at this now to make changes over the next 3 years. And the company has a responsibility now to know the roles that will be impacted, because most folks actually love their job. This is not just a job for them. This is their living. This is their passion. It's their craft. And I think when you take that identity away from someone, they don't actually know what to do. And especially when it comes to if the actual craft itself is no longer required, how do you think people will feel? They don't know what's possible. And let's be frank, even in HR, you don't even know what jobs are happening next. So how are we expecting people to know this and our employees to know this? So I think really clear leadership is required right now. We need to understand the work that's being done within our company. We need to know the impacts that we're going to make when it comes to AI. We need to understand the timeline of that implementation strategy. And then we need to be best friends with our learning and chief learning officers to make sure that the AI strategy and the learning strategy are hand in hand, because that allows us time. That allows us time to prepare our workforce, especially for folks that are going to be impacted. And we know what they could pivot into. We know how long it'll take for them to pivot. We know the skills that they'll be requiring. We'll know the learning that's needed. And that is our responsibility to help them navigate. Now, if you're an individual employee and this has happened to you today, one of the first things I would suggest you do is to start to look at what are actually the jobs that are being required for this new world today. And drop me a message if you ever are stuck, and I'm happy to guide you in that direction.